Hello, readers. So last week we started reviewing cause and effect, along with comparisons and contrasting. Today we're going to look at description in a text. So here I have an anchor chart that you can pause the video to write in your journal. This is going to help show you what description looks like in a text, right? So you're going to look at your keywords, your signal words, and then a couple different graphic organizers that might look familiar to you to help you identify that structure. So as we look at the description, I want you to be mindful of a few things as we read. I want you to remember the signal words that are important to help you identify when to spot the description or main idea and details in a text. So when you see the words for example, one reason, also, is like, and for instance, those are keywords that are going to help you know that the writer is helping you identify the main idea and details. Remember that description helps us identify the main idea and its details. I'm going to show you some organizers also here. We're going to talk through them that may help you identify main idea and details. Some of these may look familiar to you. So this one right here, we've been using a lot lately in our writing. This is our topic or our main idea box. And then these are the details that we use when we start writing, when we brainstorm. Here is another one where we would do a box. So like our boxes and bullets, this is our box or our main idea. And then these are the details that are included in that main idea. And then the last one that may not be as familiar is this one with the box and details. Same thing, main idea and details. So I'm going to show you what I mean and how we can use these by reading a story called Solving Problems. You can find this story in your mentor text that you started using last week. It is on page 6, and I will show you right now what I'm talking about. So here's a story that I'm talking about. This is my physical copy, but as I've told you, you have a virtual copy in Benchmark, and it is going to be on page 6. So I'm going to start reading, and then I'm going to kind of talk you through how I would use one of these graphic organizers to help me identify and fill it out with your main idea and details. So, in the United States, citizens elect their government representatives. That means the people who live and work in a town, city, or state vote for many of the members of their government. These members represent the people at different levels of government. Local governments make choices about how to run towns and cities. State governments make and enforce laws for states. Federal governments make and enforce laws for the nation. So looking at this paragraph, I know that this paragraph is my main idea of the story, right? So my introduction is going to give me my brief overview of what my story is going to be talking about. I didn't see any of my signal words as I was reading. So that's how I know that this is going to be my main idea to the story. In the margins, I'm going to go ahead and write a quick overview of what I read about. Based on my story from last time, I know that this main idea is talking about citizens electing representatives that work at different levels. I put federal and state because it kind of makes the reference to federal government and state government, like our last story from last week, tax dollars at work. So I'm going to go ahead and keep reading, and I'm going to see if I find any of my signal words to give me details now, since this was my main idea. So federal, state, and local governments often come together and work as a team to solve problems. For example, after an earthquake, tornado, or floods from a hurricane, people might need food or shelter. I'm stopping right here because I noticed the word for example in my text, which tells me that this is a detail in my story. So my detail for this part of my story is, or part of my text is saying that federal, state, and local governments work together to solve problems during crisis like earthquakes, tornadoes, or floods. So I'm going to say different levels of government, and I'm going to abbreviate just so I can fit it. Work together during crisis. So that's my detail for this part of the story. I'm going to keep reading and see if I find any of my other words. They might also need financial help rebuilding homes and businesses. Roads and bridges may need fixing. All levels of government work together when a natural disaster strikes. So there was no more keywords, but I could technically tie all of this into one detail because they do go on to give examples like we should in our writing. So what I want you to do now, there's two things that I want you to do virtually. You're going to go into your mentor text, open up solving problems. I'm going to read through this last paragraph. You're going to open your text and highlight any signal words that you see in the text, maybe even ones that I missed. And then you're going to give me the detail that they give you in this part of the paragraph. So really quick. For example, on October 29th, 2012, Superstorm Sandy battered the New York and New Jersey coasts. Winds near 128 kilometers per hour, 80 miles per hour. More than 23,000 people lost their homes and 8.5 million people lost power. To help people through the crisis, the Federal Emergency Management Agency provided billions of dollars in relief funds. Today, state and local governments are still using this money to rebuild the areas hit hardest by the storm. So go ahead and highlight any other signal words that you may have seen in the story in your virtual text, and make sure to add a sticky note or just write in the margins. Good luck.